parole, give us a call, 713-526-5738. Option number 1 to donate. Option number 2 to get in line after 9:45 and leave a shout out. And right now we have binder clip playing Terry. Terry here.
Wait a minute.
Talk about throwing you under the, or pitching you under the bus.
Now you got a new nickname too.
Binder clip playing Terry. What kind of name is this? Okay.
Get in the mic.
Okay. Good afternoon, good evening,
So,
ladies and
I
gentlemen.
hate to interrupt you before you get started, but I seen a really good ad that you put out there about if you get your ass whooped, call TV.
You want me? Can I say that on the air?
That's not one of the 7 deadlies.
If the cops whoop your ass, call THP fast. That's me. I'm him. I'm THP. Don't call your mama. Don't call your daddy either. Call me. I'm THP. Anywho,
I rolled around laughing on that one. That was good.
okay, so first and foremost, as always, thank you to the Prison Show for allowing me to come on here and spill my deal. Anyway, so a common question, I've addressed this recently on TikTok, but since I'm here and when I kind of pitched the idea of talking about special reviews, I was told that I need to talk about special reviews because y'all be writing the Prison Show asking about special reviews. And I know if you get denied parole, you're disgruntled, you're mad, and you just want to challenge. You want to challenge everything. Okay? But I want to give you, I'm not going to go into the whole spiel. I'm going to give you the law. This is the law. If you want to really know what the law says pertaining to and Texas Board of Pardons and Parole's policy says as it pertains to special reviews, you need to look at the Texas Board of Pardons and Parole policy number 145.206. Again, board policy 145.206. Or you can go to the Texas Admin, and you need to go to the Texas Admin Administrative Code 145.17, Texas Admin Code 145.17. What is a special review? So, of course, you know if you get denied parole and say they set you off by 5 years, which is a hefty set off, which means you might have been on that cell phone or trying to establish a relationship with the guard. Just got to wait till you get home, brother. Say they set you off 3 years, 5 years, whatever. You can file a special review at any point up until you fall back into parole review. Again, I'm talking to Texas. I know this is a nationwide broadcast, so look into the laws and the policy, not only the law, but the board administrative policy for whatever state jurisdiction you're in. But in Texas, that's how it goes. So there's procedural ways and things that you need to follow and procedures you need to abide by to effectively file the special review. You'll find that in those policy I mentioned. In Texas, there are 2 major buckets for special reviews. Special reviews that are going to be sent back to the original parole panel that voted on your case, or special reviews that are sent to a special review panel. In any event, all of that, I'm going to give you the 5 bases for filing a special review in the state of Texas. Some of them will go to the special review, some will go to the original panel. Who gives a darn? If you fall into one of these buckets, go ahead and file your special review because you got action. If you don't, I'll go ahead and spill the beans about my pro tips for special review. Matter of fact, I'm going to start with that because y'all love talking about, man, they got me down here, man. They talking about the 2D, man, the nature of the offense, man. You know, I did what I did in 83, man.
2D.
2D and 1D and all of these other reasons that are cited. And I want to let you know that although you filing a special review solely on the basis of the fact that they deny you for the nature of the offense, the whole world knows that the nature of the offense ain't going to change at this point. But filing a special review isn't going to help you at all. It's probably going to hurt you because they're going to look at it and think, oh, this person isn't remorseful for what they were actually convicted for, right? So don't file a special review if it's 2D. The good news is myself and presumably other parole attorneys, but I speak from my own experience, I've seen many people get a 2D in 2024, turn around in 2025 and make parole. So the nature of the offense didn't change at all, and you still made parole. So keep your head up because your day's coming. Another one, there's no clean slate provision for disciplinary cases, which comes across as 4D, which is institutional adjustment, or 3D, alcohol and drug involvement. So if you caught a K2 case or a hooch case in 2022, and they cited that in 2025 for your set off, they can do so. So again, you can do it if you're mad and you want to make an emotional special review, but I'm trying to give you some news you could use to actually be effective, efficient. And the rate of parole being granted after an effective special review is very high. I want to say it's like 60%. Don't take me to church on that, but in any event, it's like 60%. You know what I'm saying? So that's almost literally 2 times the flat parole rate just for normal considerations. And then again, man, before I get into these 5 bases for special review, don't poke the beehive. In parole, I'm not making an appeal for your constitutional rights to the Supreme Court of the United States or the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals. I'm not doing that. If you hire me, I'm not doing that. Okay? I'm making a human argument to human beings sitting on a parole panel or a board. I only get to speak to one of them. The rest of them get the notes from the first voter, and they get my packet where I go all in on everything I need to say. I keep it straight to the point. I get down to it. I'm predictable. They know where to go to find my inputs within your parole packet, and based upon the outcomes and just the relationship with the board, starting with my mom all the way down to me, going forward, I feel like they pay attention. But we're not in there making hardcore arguments and all of that. Sometimes if we got to, we can bring that in to address the nature of the offense or to address the actual conviction itself if you got railroaded in court. And they listen, okay? But I'm trying to get human beings to make a decision for my client based upon a purely discretionary basis. You don't have a right to parole. Parole is a privilege. So I'm not going to go in there pouring vinegar on the bee. No, or the bear or the bee. I'd rather go in there with the bear and pour honey all over him. And they fall asleep licking the honey off his own fingers. Oh, wow, this is very nice. Yes. Whatever you want. You know what I mean? So that's that. That's the gist of what we're talking about. Now to get right down to it, the 5 bases for a special review in the state of Texas. 1, and these are special review panel cases. New information not previously available. Now, what does this mean? If you can present new information not previously available, that probably sounds like anything, but it's not. It's very narrow. Only responses from the trial court or from the victim, changes in a person's sentence or judgment, or an allegation that the panel committed an error of law or board rule. Don't so much trip out on that last one. If you're gonna file one of these on this basis, you need to have something from the trial court, the judge, the victim, or a change in your sentence or judgment. Second way, the panelist who considered who voted on your case on their own, sua sponte, for all my penitentiary lawyers out there, all my jailhouse lawyers. So you go a little Latin for you. Sua sponte, that means on their own. That voter says, "Hey, I want to change. I changed my mind, and I want to do something different than what I did in the past." Okay, and go back, and then on their own they can spark a special review. But that's not you. That's the voter themselves. Third way, and this is a good one. If say you had a 2 out of 3 case, you didn't have a 5 out of 7, you had a 2 out of 3 panel case, which is most people. If the majority voters on your case that went in favor of denying you, that denied you, if those 2 voters are no longer on that panel, then you have action for a special review. And basically the logic of it is these 2 people, these 2 out of 3 voted me no. They're no longer serving on this panel. There are 2 new people. I have another 2 years before I come up for parole. Let these new people consider my case. You would figure that out by going and getting your transcript, your hearing transcript, which is it's not, hearing transcript ain't all that. It's not like your trial transcript. It just shows the date, the time, and which person voted on your case and what they voted, yay or nay. Okay. But if the 2 that went nay on you are no longer on the panel, and you can show that through your with your doula, then you can go ahead and file a special review. You might get one, you might not. Number 3, now these are original panel cases. This is when you file a special review and they send it right back to the same people that denied you in the first place. So this is number 4. If there's an administrative processing error, this is a good one. This is a very good one. When information was received prior to the panel's vote but was not submitted to the panel for review or consideration. And then the statute itself gives us examples. So don't go trying to invent. I mean, maybe you could invent something, but if you fall up underneath one of these examples expressly provided in the rule, then you got action. Example number 1, the attorney properly requested and was granted an interview, but the interview never took place. Again, that would be on your attorney to do what they're supposed to do, to give them notice and let them know, hey, I represent this person. I filed my letter of representation, my request for a hearing, and here's my letter of representation, and my fee affidavit. And then also, if a disciplinary case was overturned but was showing as current. Okay, so if you can show that, you got some action. Number 3, that was number 4, this is number 5. So the last avenue for special review is if there was erroneous information considered in the decision that was made to deny you parole. So when the panel may have relied upon incorrect information in making their decision. Again, when a panel may have relied upon incorrect information in making their decision. Examples provided again in the statute: being set off longer than allowed based upon your conviction. So in Texas, presumably maybe in other states, but I can't talk about y'all, so just pay attention, get my logic, but do the research for your state. You know what I'm saying? In Texas, based upon your conviction, the maximum set off for you might be 1 year, it might be 5 years, it might be 10 years. Okay. But in any event, if they exceeded that based on your conviction, then you can go back and get special review, and they might set you off to a more appropriate time. They might just say, hey, get your ass out of here. I'm sorry, get your tail out of here. My bad. He said it's not a bad word. He said it's not a bad word.
Does it start over, like if they go up for a special review and they're denied if they are granted a special review and then they're denied again? Okay,
great question. So if you're, hold on, let me give you the last example on the erroneous information. 1, if you were set off longer than permissible, or if an inmate claims that an inmate refused to complete a program, which they did. Common example would be grad. If you were a confirmed STG member and you went through grad, and then they're saying you never took grad, bam, or they're saying you never got a GED and your ITP is incorrect, but you got the GED through Wyndham, or you already had a free word diploma, then that's BS, and we can show that, and then bam, you got actual action on special review. Now, for your question, special review theoretically can't hurt you, because if they denied you in 2022 and set you off 3 years to 2025, say sometime within that 3-year time frame, year 2, you file a special review. I'm about to wrap it up. Stay in here making hand gestures and looking at me. But the moral of the story is you file a special review sometime before that point, and then you are denied the special review. They can't set you off any longer than you were already set off for. My name is Terry Henderson Pete, and I want to give thanks to the prison show,
Parole board.
The parole board too. If you want to get free, call THP 334-544-9471. That's my phone number, 334-544-9471. My writing address is P.O. Box 1410, Houston, Texas 77251. P.O. Box 1410, Houston, Texas 77251. I'm running a promotion. If you or your loved ones, matter of fact, write me on the JPay before the end of June. Put bingo. I'll give you 10% off on parole reviews. And we stick with our clients for a total of 3 hearings, 1 flat price. And yeah, man. Oh yeah. and it's about to be summertime, man. Y'all get y'all administrative grievances on. Maximize your administrative grievances. We're gonna break all this no AC, baking people to death like rotisserie chickens mess we got going on. We ain't with that slavery stuff. We're gonna treat people humanely, even if they have made mistakes or even if they wrongfully convicted. We ain't with that. This thing of the past. If you or your loved ones, somebody you know down there has been hurt or affected by, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get this out. Write me if you got one of them heat related case issues, man. We gotta stop it. Write me, hit me up, wrongful death, all that there. Bye. Gotta go. Thank you to the prison show. Peace.
Woo-wee.
I came with that heat today, y'all. I came with that heat.
He came
Hey,
with
what Dave say? If it's time to skidoo, you gotta do. What'd he say?
Cutest skidoo.
It's the cutest skidoo. Now that was some news you could use. So get a prison show all your money.
Yep. And we'd like to thank Elizabeth for her pledge.